Hi, this is Sam from Living from the Heart, and in today's video I'm going to share a 5-step manifestation process with you that you can use when there's something in your current reality that you want to shift, or something in your dream future that you want to bring into being, bring yourself into alignment with. It draws on the work of amazing neuroscientists and neuroplasticity researchers like Dr. Dispenza and Dr. Swart, and it really condenses a lot of their amazing wisdom down into 5 easy steps. So as we go through, please comment. I would love to hear how each step resonates with you, and if you have already been putting this into practice, how it's been working. Let me know as we go through. Comment through the video and we'll reply to all of them. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, then you might as well do that now. That would be wonderful. That really helps. We're going to be looking at using a mood board, an action board, or vision board, depending on what you like to call it. We're going to be looking at a simple journaling process with writing with intention and saying it out loud. And we're going to be looking at using the whole sensory body to create your own mind movie and live out that dream future. So let me know how you get on. I can't wait to hear. But what you can see behind me is a mood board or an action board. If you know Dr. Swart, you'll know that she calls it an action board. And I also really like the way she uses the analogy of pathways in the mind, these neural pathways that are very much like physical pathways. And the more we tread the same pathway, the deeper and stronger it gets. And the more likely we are to take that path in the future because it's the easiest one to follow. So how we can rewire our brains, how we can work with our neuroplasticity to create a reality that we want. And that's what we're doing here with this. If I move to the side, you can see some really beautiful shots of Costa Rica. So we are going there, my husband, my 3 kids and me, for 3 weeks this summer to do a massive recce around the country and see if we might want to move there and set up a healing space of our own. I did one of these mood boards with my parents 10 years ago when we were looking at relocating together so that they could retire in the sun and I could set up a healing space, and it worked. We did it. We moved to Spain 10 years ago and set up River Heart retreats. So I have great faith in the power of these action boards. What I'm also doing for manifesting is using my beautiful Manipura book that one of my children has scribbled all over. And in fact, if I show you one of my writing pages, you'll see that it is also covered in children's artwork. So I'm not using pristine paper. I'm not too concerned with having a perfect journal. In my life, that doesn't exist anymore. My kids are 7, 5 and 2, and there are no clean sheets of paper. But what I'm doing is usually every few days I sit down with this. I turn my attention inwards, settle the mind and the heart and the spirit, and then I start to write. What is it that I want to manifest? And I write it in the present tense as if it was already happening, just like when you do written affirmation work. So mine usually starts something like, we are living in an international community with like-minded people. Our children go to a beautiful holistic school on site in the forest. And we are manifesting and creating a healing space that is open to all people. And then it goes on and on from there. And so the first thing I do is free write. Then I read what I've written when it feels like it's complete. I read it silently to myself. Then I read it out loud. And as I'm reading, I'm a speed reader. And I have to really stop myself from just skimming through, but to really read one word at a time and to see it and to feel it and to read each one out loud. And then at the end, I close my eyes, one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly, and I picture it. I make a movie in my mind. Now, if you know Dr. Dispenza's work, you'll know that he goes all out on mind movies and he creates actual movies with people in that they can watch. So this isn't quite that technologically advanced, but it's nevertheless using that power of the imagination to picture it unfolding and to feel with all of my senses, how does it feel when that's already happened, when I'm living that reality? What can I smell? What can I feel on my skin? What can I see? What can I hear? And I feel gratitude, joy, excitement, expansion, connection with Mother Nature. And that's the other really important part of it, is to connect it with an elevated emotion. So that sense of wonder with the world, that absolute joy. So that's my manifestation practice. We've got the board. It's on the wall in our kitchen. So whenever anybody comes in, they see it and we tell them. And that's something that Dr. Tara Schwam talks about as well, that you need to put your action board somewhere that's pretty public so that you develop the courage to stand your own ground, really, to face whatever inner demons and doubts you might have, and to stand up for your dreams. And of course, being English, this is extremely difficult. Making a video about manifestation is incredibly un-English. Having a board up with these sort of incredibly luxurious, beautiful images and saying to anyone who comes in, yeah, that's what we'd like to have, also feels very un-English. And that's great, because part of this manifestation work involves facing one's own limiting beliefs and working on those relationship dynamics where you maybe feel like you're not entitled to something, or you need to work on giving yourself permission to living an abundant lifestyle. So there's a lot of inner work going on too, and we'll talk more about that in our other videos. But for now, I wanted to give you just a quick takeaway of the manifestation process that I'm using for our trip to Costa Rica. Step 1, develop a mood board and hang it somewhere semi-public at least. Step 2, start writing as often as possible. Write it down as if it's already happening. Read it to yourself slowly. Read it out loud slowly. Hand on heart, hand on belly, close your eyes and create that mind movie. So see it all as if it's already happening. Connect with an elevated emotion. Feel it and give gratitude for the fact that it has already become real. Like I say, this worked for me and my parents when we moved to Spain to set up River Heart retreats. And I'm pretty excited about it. Doing the same for me and my family now as we prepare for a potential move from Germany, which is safe, secure, stable, sensible, to the wilds of Central America, where we can follow our heart's purpose and set up once again a creative and healing space that is accessible to everyone. Watch this space. Please like and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference. Leave a comment in the box below. Have you followed your heart and set out on a wild dream with your family? If so, please tell me all about it. I would love to hear. If you're thinking about doing the same, especially if you've got a young family, let me know. We're going to be doing this with our daughter who has Down syndrome, as well as our other 2 kids. So that brings up a whole other host of considerations for managing change. Again, if you've done this with a child with a disability, and particularly if it's Down syndrome, we would love to hear all about it. How is it working out for you? How have you managed that process of change for your child? So yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we will reply to all questions and comments. All right, peace out, everyone. Stay tuned for more.